Hi everybody, Lisa from Positively Productive. I was hoping to do a live video today on Facebook, but things didn't go quite as planned because apparently there's issue on the business page doing it. So what I'm going to do is a follow-up video to some of the conversations that we had this past week on the Positively Productive business page about organizing your space. In particular, I had asked a bunch of you to think about a space in your home. It could also be at work as well that really isn't working for you. There's a lot of clutter. It tends to be a hot spot. It's just a problem all around, and let's address it. The biggest ones tend to be kitchen counter or the kitchen island. Tends to be the areas when you come into the house, your mudroom or foyer or something like that. And then, of course, there's also bedrooms and desks and things like that. But I thought maybe if we address the first two, we might get you pretty far to getting those spaces cleaned up and becoming a lot more productive and a lot happier. So let's start with going from basket case to baskets. I have always been a fan of baskets anyhow, and I find that they can be really handy if you use them properly to help you collect items in a much bigger way. It doesn't seem realistic to me for people to walk in the house with mail and immediately open it and go through it and file it. But instead, if you have a dedicated mail basket at an appropriate place in your home, and I'll get to what I mean by that in a minute, everybody knows that's where the mail belongs. And then you avoid having it end up on the kitchen table or on the kitchen counters or on the couch or on the stairs. Does it sound like I know about this from experience? Yeah, I do. So we've managed to conquer those things in my home by having a dedicated mail basket. And it's been fantastic because it means that anybody in the house can get the mail and they know exactly where it goes. And then those of us responsible for sorting the mail can go through it. And that basket that I have for the mail has a garbage can and a shredding can right underneath, ready to go. So I'm able to go through that daily or every other day, really depending upon how much mail comes in. Now, this is not where it ends. The mail basket is great, but that's only for incoming mail to keep it from ending up in all these other places. And then from there, you need to process it. Now, this is where something that I call the weekly basket comes in, and I want to give a shout out to Lisa Woodruff Wilson, who came up with a Sunday basket plan, and it's very similar to that. This is my take on it, so shout out to her because this concept is fantastic. And I will show you my weekly basket. And you could use the same kind of basket for your mail as well. You could have matching baskets. But the distinction with this one is it's something that I go through each week as part of my plan for the following week. And in this basket, I'll show you a few of the things that I have. The flyer for the grocery store. A recent invitation that just came in. Magazine that somebody said we should take a look through, and we're not really sure. There's also some filing that needs to be done. I keep that in a little folder here. And, sometimes there are flyers from the local dentist or somebody to clean your gutters. You can put that in here to give consideration for the coming week. This way, it's in a safe place. And that is really the key that I want to impart today, is having a safe place to capture all that paper that comes in, as long as it needs to be captured. The key to having a mail basket is that you can sort through it and immediately throw out the junk, put the shredding where that needs to go, and understand what's important. Obviously, you can then take your bills and put them someplace safe too, but the great thing about a weekly basket is you could put them in there as well. You can put a Post-it note on it if you want to remind yourself of something that you need to do. You make the system work for you. For example, I need to set up an online account for this credit card that just came in. It was an updated one, so I've put a Post-it note on there. It's not an immediate thing that I need to do, so I have it in my weekly basket. This Sunday I will take a look and decide if I need to do it this week. Great place to capture things keep them safe, and know where to go back. Now, in the case of something for us like this invitation to the party, I've put this in here and I've put a reminder on my phone of when I need to RSVP. But the way this basket helps me is that if for some reason I forgot to do that, I'm going through the basket on Sunday and I go, oh, wait, I need to RSVP this week. I can pull that out and make that a current thing. I do have a command center in our kitchen with a big calendar and a cork board for some of the more immediate things. After I RSVP and just before the party, I may actually put that right there because we are visual people in my family and we need to be able to see that something's coming up. But until then, the weekly basket is a safe place to keep it. So that's my recommendation for that. In terms of the mudroom and things coming in, the other idea I wanted to share with you today was the fact that as much as any organizer you talk to will talk about how you need to have like with like, you need to have the same things in the same place. And I agree with that. And I especially agree with that when you are going through things and you're trying to purge and clean out, put it all together. But functionally in your home, sometimes you need to have multiple areas for the same kind of thing to increase your productivity. Let me give you an idea of what I mean. When it comes to tools in our home, we have an area in the basement where we keep most of them. That is not convenient when I need a screwdriver to tighten the cabinets in the kitchen. So we have a utility drawer where we have, a couple of screwdrivers and a measuring tape and a few minor tools like that. We use the same thing. We have duct tape. We have a couple other different things, extension cords, batteries. We may have the bulk of it stored elsewhere in the house, but in certain places that are convenient, upstairs and downstairs, we will have those. The benefit of this is that when you have that kind of need, you can go to that drawer or the box or bin or whatever you have designated to hold it, use that item and put it right back. And there's your key. This is why we have these hot spots in the house, why there's all these problems, is because somehow there are too many steps to put it back. It's not simple enough to put something back in its place or to be able to access it easily. And then once you have to go through multiple levels or it's going to go upstairs, you struggle. Yes, you can use baskets for let's collect the downstairs items that need to go back up. That works, but I will say it's helped, and I've seen it in my home, where if you have smaller collections of things that utility items, for example, and you keep that in a space that's easy to get to and easy to put away, it will reduce the clutter immensely. Let me see what else. So talked a little bit about kitchen clutter and using the mail basket and the weekly basket to address that. Again, having the items in a safe place, in a contained place, and also a place that you can move around and bring it to a table to sort through and then take it away. The mudroom coming in and out, I think it really has to do with creating the process that's easy and simple. And this especially is true with kids. You put your book bags right there, you put your boots right there. This is the bin where you can throw your hats and your mittens, and you keep practicing that, and I promise you it will get better. The one last thought I wanted to leave you with today for general organizing, and this may be something you could start with this weekend, is creating a workstation or a staging area when you're really getting into a room or a particular space that you want to clean out. Because the key, and this is what professional organizers will do with you, this is what I will do with you if you want my help, is to take everything out of that space. But when you do, it's going to get worse before it gets better. I'm sorry, but that has to happen. So hang in there and have faith. Sometimes you don't have the time to do the entire project at once, and this is where having a staging area, workstation area dedicated will help. You want boxes and bins for donation, for sorting, extra things just to kind of create categories as you go and to be able to contain them and stack them and set them out of the way. You want a bin or a basket or something like that for your scissors and tape and labels and stuff like that. And it's okay, that's just a temporary thing. Eventually you can put them back where they belong. But for now, you want it right there ready. Whenever you're trying to achieve a goal, you want to have everything in place ready to go. So that was plenty that I threw at you today, and I hope it's useful. And I hope that you take steps, if you haven't already this week, start this weekend, start next week if you need to. Every day's a new day to start. Clean up a space and get your environment ready so that you can be positively productive. And as I always tell you, start being positive and you'll work toward being positively productive. Thanks. Take care, everyone.